One thing I noticed, the truth is always going to pierce through a lie. No matter how hard you try to clean it up, the truth is always going to prevail against the lie. Notice how Wack 100 is always on defense mode. Always coming up with some sort of excuses, ducking and dodging and deflecting questions that was thrown at him. Trying to clean up the statements that he spoke with Hassaan on in privacy. Man. You can't outshine recordings, bro. You can't clean up what you spoke about that was recorded. No matter how hard you try to clean it up and try to deflect and try to use other people's questions or rebuttals to try to catch a loophole to clean up and fix and lie on the statements that you said, you can't clean it up. You revealed what's in your heart in a comfortable mode. You spoke what's in your heart in a comfortable mode. And now you've been exposed, bro. Don't worry about your brand. Worry about your life. Forget a brand. Forget a podcast. Whatever those people promised you as far as sponsorship in your platform, all that is out the window. You've been revealed a snake. Your hand has been exposed. You went to another snake and got exposed. See, in New York politics, one thing we do know, you don't mess with a Bronx nigga. Especially a Bronx nigga from the projects, man. They've been under pressure so much, the police. So many rivals setting them up. Just to grime along in New York City. When you're dealing with a person that's paranoid like Hassaan, who's known to have beef so much all around, known to be set up from so many angles, New York is a grimy place where they known setting each other up. So you gotta be on your P's and Q's if you're a New Yorker, especially in the Bronx. Because every word that you say is going to be used against you in the court of the streets and the law. You under pressure 24 hours. You can't sleep in New York City. You forced to stay in your P's and Q's, so you have to use recordings as an insurance policy. Because you don't know where the setup or the extortion is going to come from. You got to keep a way out. We were known to be harassed by the police, NYPD, since the beginning of the time. They always set us up and line us up with entrapments to take charges for things that we didn't commit. We always was forced to take plea deals or for crimes we didn't commit. We were always forced for extortion, whether it's from the police or it's from the gangs. That's just a New York state of mind. We're forced to be on our P's and Q's 1,000 times faster than any city in America. Because New York was the platform. It's the platform for extortion from the mob. It's the platform for all these agendas being set across as far as whatever the agenda is, gun control, the war on drugs, war on poverty, war on crime. You're forced to be on your P's and Q's in New York City. You can't outsmart a New York City person. We've been under the pressure, under ropes for so long that you have to be playing both sides of the fence for survival. Whether it's Democrat, Republican, whether it's politicking with blood, crib, whatever set it is, you have to learn how to maneuver. Whether it's mafioso versus politics, you have to learn how to maneuver as a New Yorker. That's facts. So when a West Coast nigga comes through to try to force somebody to check in for whatever agenda they on, New Yorkers is 9 times out of 10 already on top of it because we are forced to be pressured in every other agenda. So we can't trust each other as New Yorkers because we're known for snaking and ratting each other as New Yorkers. Yet alone, because we do that so much, we're used to seeing certain plays when they try to reveal itself. We learn to discern in a faster rate. So we can understand cultures, we can understand dynamics, we can understand politics, we can understand all kinds of rules and plays when they come because we're under pressure, especially as a minority trying to maneuver in a city such as New York. So you can't outsmart Hassaan, who's been known to be getting lined up with, to be set up with, all the traps and angles. So he's on paranoid all the time. He's 0 to 60. Nah, he's 0 to 20, 120 all the time. His gauge is speeding. He has to think for survival 12 times steps ahead of the game. That's why he recorded Wack 100 in that phone conversation. Because he's seen the plot and he's seen the play for so long because he's used to being set up and extorted. That's just the New York way of life. We're forced to think much faster than the others. That's why Wack 100 is on the ropes when it comes down in this particular battle with Hassaan and Wack 100. If you try to threaten somebody saying anything in a demeaning manner where his life is at stake, you best to believe 9 times out of 10 he's going to go all out. As soon as he thinks his radar is going to be buzzing where he's going to try to take you before you think about taking him out. You have to stay on your P's and Q's. Just like LA, the cultures clash when it comes to the gang movement. Yes, LA got the win when it comes to the gang politics. But we have a whole set of rules in the UBN. Me, I ain't no blood. There's a whole set of rules and a whole set of form of politics when it comes down to East Coast compared to West Coast. Y'all may have set the standard, but New York came through a whole different environment but forced the standard for survival. It's different. It's like we're the bastard childs that were pretty much adopted by the West Coast culture, but we were forced to stand on our own ever since as New Yorkers. We know and we can recognize plays when they come as soon as they come, because we've been extorted and under pressure for so long. That's why Hassaan used that wiretap as an extortion tactic. Not even an extortion tactic, as an insurance policy. He caught Big Homie sleeping. Wack, you guys take an L on that. And you're going to have to be DP'd in your own set. Because you violated. And he got New York niggas recorded you violating your own oaths and your own policies. What you did to your own kind and your own people, that's foul. Nip deserved to be honored, yo. How you gonna snake Nip like that? How you gonna extort Nip like that? How you gonna talk shit about your own man? You need to be DP'd, bro. Stop ducking and dodging. Face the consequences. Caught you slipping. Now you want to threaten this man's life or threaten his podcast, or we don't know what's going on the street level. Ain't no fair games when it comes to love and when it comes to war, yo. Anything goes when it comes to war. This is war. Y'all taking this personal. Both of y'all chasing clout. Both of y'all wanted to be the big dude in YouTube. And y'all fighting to the very bitter end. For what? For clout? It's not worth it. But when people's lives are on the line and we threaten somebody's livelihood, that's a whole different story. Wack, street niggas can see when you deflecting. Street niggas can recognize when you trying to clean up and use damage control. When you got exposed. Police can see that. I don't think it will be relevant too long. You rub too many people on your side the wrong way. You betrayed your camp, not only your camp, by violating the code, by discussing politics to an outside member outside of Pyru. You need to be DP'd all by itself. Then you're going to violate your man and cause the 60s to come at you. Off of their politics with Nipsey. That had nothing to do with you as a Pyru. That's 60s politics. Whoever they chose to handle, how they handle, is not for you as a guest to expose that. You need to be DP'd by them. Now you rub so many people the wrong way that you expose your hand when it comes down to your career. When it comes down to Adam 22, when it comes down to Drink Champs, and especially Killy the Kid and Wallow, the ones that was willing to build and uplift your platform. Now they under contract by you, but I don't think they're going to go all out in supporting you no more. See, in every hood, we recognize truth from false. We recognize real from fake. Ain't nobody going to want to feel like they've been extorted or treated as if they've been extorted by anybody. Ain't nobody going to humble themselves to let you outshine their reputation and their pride and their image and their ego. You burn bridges everywhere you went when it comes down to your YouTube and social media. You want to be somebody else's life like Suge Knight so bad that your pride is causing you your demise. Now, is this thing pre-set up? If it is, it's a good strategy for all of y'all to make money. Did y'all create this scenario to get the clickbait? Well, it didn't work. That was genius. But why would you create clickbait and create, for a piece of money? Why would you betray your friends like that? That doesn't make any sense to me. The ones that held you down. You exposed your hand, bro. It is what it is. Somebody need to pray for Wack because he's going to have problems in his own coast. In his own coast. It's always repercussions and consequences for the actions that you did. Wack, you can't clean this one up. He has more recorders on you, revealing how much of a snake you are. You need to ride around and bulletproof glasses everywhere you go. Because a dumb nigga who's not part of the industry, who don't understand the celebrity politics or industry politics, and he's just going off a street code, or for the love of Nip, or for the love of you, or for the love of his set, it's going to be the war, bro. You got to watch your back, bro. But you need to be DP'd for violating. How can you be a big homie? You got a nigga you don't know expose you. That where you so bad, where you gotta explain yourself everywhere you go, even the people in your own camp. You self-destructing, bro. Every time you make up a lie, somebody's out there to clean up that lie that you created. Real killers move in silence. Real G's don't air their business out on a government platform. They don't air and expose their personal business to people they don't know. You got to earn and win their trust, and it takes years for that. Not 2 minutes when you meet a nigga talking about how much clout you may have, how you holding things down. You only good as your last body. These young boys don't respect you, gangster. They want to see what are you doing currently. actively. We don't respect what happened in the 90s. They wasn't even born, or they probably was babies in the 90s. What are you doing? What are you doing actively right now as a Pyru to even bang Pyru? If you're not active and putting in work as a Pyru, you ain't real right. What you say means nothing in the streets. They look at you as food. And it's going to be another little nigga who you don't expect that's going to take your spot. And they're really probably plotting to air you out. I'm already telling you that's the way of the street. And your mouth puts you in a lot of danger. Not only from your enemies and your ops that you don't care about. Where you said you sold guns to your enemies so they can kill each other off. The way you said that, and then the way you expose the 60s, criminally indicted Big U and the 60s for Nipsey's murder, plus extortion as a guest from the Pyrus, knowing that you befriended and won they trust over, it's a snake. You gotta worry about your own coast. Ain't gonna be an East Coast, West Coast beef. It's gonna be 60s versus Pyru. Not only that, you violated Pyru, so it won't be 60s versus Pyru. It'll be 60s Pyru versus Wack. And the East Coast is going to sit there and put the green light and sponsor it. They're going to get rid of a Wack 100 by the snake mentality he's doing. Yeah, we do care about Hassaan, but Hassaan already denounced the gang. He said he's not active, he's not want to be part of the gang. He said he's a civilian, so that don't it doesn't fit him. He's moving as a civilian. He's moving as his life is at stake. Somebody ran up on his crib. You try to claim it as if it was you and your force. You criminally indicting yourself by your pride in your mouth. Even if you didn't do it, you want to try to take credit. Shows you your character is going to get you in a world of trouble. Hassaan, by you wiretapping, yeah, they're not going to trust you, but they respect what you did. I'm not begging East Coast, West Coast. I'm not begging none of that stuff. I'm going off of truth versus false. Right versus wrong. And Wack 100 was 100% wrong for betraying his people and exposing their secrets to get them criminally in charge or whatever. To get them out of there so you can take the spot. Easy.